Hello, and today we're going to be looking at the Allan Gray Equity Fund. Allan Gray is one of the more popular investment managers in South Africa, and the Equity Fund is a popular choice for South African investors. Hopefully, by the end of the video, you will have learned how to navigate their website and you'll know the top stocks that they own at the moment. Let me know if there's an investment manager who you would like to see me do a deep dive on, or even better, name a fund you'd like me to take a look at. Here, I'm on the Allan Gray website, and there's a lot of useful information in here. And that's the point of this channel, is really to guide you to the more useful aspects of various investment manager websites. And we specifically make our way to investment documentation called fact sheets. And the overall goal here is to empower you, and hopefully empower you to make educated investment decisions going forward. So there's a few drop-down menus here. We're going to be trying to find the fact sheets that they will sit under what we offer, useful resources, and we can see here unit trusts, prices, and fact sheets. If I click on that, up pops all the names of the local unit trusts or the local funds that Allan Gray run. If I scroll down a little bit further, you can see they also run offshore funds. Orbis is the name of Allan Gray's sister company, and Orbis run their offshore unit trusts. So if I scroll back up, we're going to be looking at the equity fund today. If I click on that, up pops a whole bunch of, again, useful detail that if you are thinking about investing in solutions like this, I'd highly recommend going in here, having a read, and also we'll be popping into the fact sheet. This is a link to the PDF of the fact sheet, but there is some information here on the, let's call it the home page of the equity fund. So for example, we can see that the equity fund's goal is really to create long-term wealth for investors by investing in shares. So long-term is the important term here, and you'll probably hear me use that term quite a lot throughout this video. Here are the portfolio managers. These are the individuals who really have the final say with regards to what goes in to the equity fund, and also, I guess, what doesn't go into the equity fund. So Duncan Artis is definitely one of the more popular investment managers in South Africa. If you ever get the chance to hear Duncan present, I'd be very surprised if you weren't impressed. Jathen Pillay, Rory Jacobson, and Tim Acker. It isn't just these four individuals that run this fund, although they do have the final say. They do have a large investment team that sits beneath them that really help them make educated decisions themselves. So just before we go into the fact sheets, I wanted to take a look at performance, and specifically, we're going to be looking at performance after fees. At the end of the day, investors really employ Allan Gray to manage their money for them, and investors will pay Allan Gray a fee to do that. So the performance that counts is the performance after all fees have been paid. And what we're looking at is performance up to November 2024. And this performance is from when the fund started. The fund started on the 1st of October 1998, and we'll see that in the fact sheet. And since then, up until the end of November 2024, the Allan Gray Equity Fund has performed at a 19% annualized return. That really, in other words, is a 9,376% return since inception. What's key here, and a great way to measure fund returns, is to measure them against their benchmark. This is really what they need to outperform after fees. And what the Allan Gray Equity Fund has done is it really has outperformed its benchmark after fees since it began. It's returned a 14.1% annualized return, so outperformed by about 5% annualized since it began. So a lot of this information already does exist in the fact sheets, but I just thought it would be helpful to look at it here. So let's dive into the fact sheets. I'm going to click on that link, and up pops the PDF fact sheet. And again, quite a lot of writing in here, and hopefully I can guide you to the more interesting aspects. If I zoom in, especially for those of you on your phones, we can see, I guess, the fund manager names on the top there, and the inception date. So this fund began on the 1st of October, 1998. Quick look at the fund description and summary of the investment policy. I recently did a video on the Coronation Top 20 Fund, which is Coronation's best 20 stocks packaged together for you. And those 20 stocks come from the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, the JSE. They Coronation's best ideas that come out of the South African stock market. This equity fund is similar in terms of it primarily invests in shares listed on the JSE, but this fund is not limited to 20 stocks. There will be more than 20 local stocks. And a key difference as well is this fund can invest offshore, can invest up to 45% into offshore stocks. And just a reminder, that offshore portion is managed by Orbis, Allan Gray's sister company. So if I just make my way to the right-hand side here, we can see the performance after fees again. We did have a look at this. Here's some information. It's recently been updated, so great, nice and transparent from Allan Gray. This information is accurate up until the end of December 2024. You can see the fact sheet date there as well. So as of the end of 2024, this fund was around 46.5 billion rand in size. So that's really the general population's hard-earned money being allocated to this particular fund, looking for those returns from the Allan Gray investment team. If I scroll down, I thought let's have a look at the performance over different periods. If I just zoom in slightly further there. So we can see the fund performance and the benchmark performance here on this table. And there's the since inception annualized returns again. Over the last year, let's start at a very short-term period over the last year. So really the calendar year of 2024, the fund returned 11.5%, whilst the benchmark returned 16.6%. So the fund, the equity fund, actually underperformed its benchmark by around 5% in the calendar year 2024. A key reminder here, and this is really important, that these equity funds are designed for long-term performance, and so it's important to assess their performance over the longer term. And so I would recommend actually assessing performance over at least the last 10 years. And over the last 10 years, this fund has performed at an 8.2% annualized return, whilst the benchmark has returned 7.3%. So Allan Gray outperforming its benchmark after fees over the last 10 years, and since inception, I would say it's doing what it says it's going to do for its clients. Dropping down to the second page, we get some further information. Here we have mentioned for long-term investors. Here's some information about the fees. Again, investors would employ Allan Gray to manage their money for them. And these are the fees that if you were to invest directly with Allan Gray, if you were to, after this video, go via the Allan Gray website and allocate some of your hard-earned cash to Allan Gray to manage, these are the fees that you would pay. I will be doing a video specifically on fees in the future. Interesting insight that if you were to access this particular investment vehicle through a financial advisor, that financial advisor gets access to this vehicle, this solution, the Allan Gray Equity Fund, at quite significantly reduced cost. They will pay less fees than these numbers that you are seeing here. And often financial advisors get access to various investment funds. They can get access at up to 50% less in fees. So just something to take into account when thinking of, I guess, if you think that you need a financial advisor going forward. Making our way to the right-hand side, here are the top 10 stocks that this fund owns. Well, at this particular date, at the end of 2024, these are the stocks that the Allan Gray Equity Fund has allocated and the percentage of the portfolio. So hopefully this gives you an idea of the kinds of stocks. Perhaps you invest in stocks via platforms like Easy Equities, and this may give you an idea of some stocks you might want to own going forward. Some of these are household names. Standard Bank, some of you may bank with Standard Bank. Woolies, I'm sure some of you do some shopping at Woolies. Nedbank, for the smokers out there, British American Tobacco, NASP is in process, two of the biggest stocks on the South African stock market at this given point in time. A bit of just some a thought experiment. I would definitely think of if you own these shares, if you perhaps buy the Standard Bank share, think of yourself as an owner of Standard Bank. You obviously don't own the whole company, but when you buy the Standard Bank share, you effectively are a part owner in Standard Bank, and you will share in the success or failure of the bank. So just some insight there. When you buy shares, think of yourself as an owner, and more on that in future videos. Scrolling down to the third page, and we will wrap it up here. Here we have the quarterly commentary that comes from the investment manager. Duncan and the rest would have written their thoughts on what's been going on in the world and tying that back to the fund. So, for example, world equity markets finished 2024 close to all-time highs. So nice kicking off the commentary with some positivity, and they will go on and explain what's been going on and how that relates to this particular investment solution. A bit of a tip, if you are curious about what's going on in the world, I would recommend picking your favorite investment managers and going and reading their quarterly commentaries. It's a great way to stay on top of what's going on and how that relates to particular investment solutions. Let's leave it there for today. I hope you found that useful. Please remember, this is not official financial advice. This is just me sharing my knowledge and my opinions on various investment managers and funds. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye.